What is up, boyos? It is Water Buffalo Man here, and we're back for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle, and we got ourselves another how-to build. Luckily, they finally dropped the EZA for this man, who has absolutely been needing it for the longest time. I've had him 100% for quite a while, and he has definitely been needing this EZA. So let's just jump right into the hype and see if it's lives up to the hype that we've actually kind of built for this man over the years, and hoping that he would get a good EZA. So, Nightmarish Impact, Super Saiyan Broly. Resurrected Warriors Key 4 150 to stats, as well as Extreme Tech type Key 4 and HP Attack and Defense 150, or 100, I'm sorry. His 12 key is Bloody Smash. Extreme raises attack for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to enemy and greatly lowers defense. 18 key Eraser Cannon. Extreme greatly raises attack and greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes mega colossal damage to enemy and massively lowers defense. We don't know if this is a continual stack, because usually it's a greatly raises attack and defense. I think this might be a 99 stack right there. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that might be an infinite stacking. His passive skill, Devilish Chase, becomes Key 3, attack and defense 200%, plus additional attack and defense of 120 when performing a super, plus an additional attack and defense of 120 when performing an ultra super for both attack and defense, plus an additional attack at 50% when target enemy is in attack down or defense down status, which they both lower defense on both of us. So if he launches this super, lowers the defense massively, he's gaining 50% attack. Plus additional Key 3 and launches an additional attack has a high chance of becoming a super attack when facing only 1 enemy. Plus a Key plus 5 and launches an additional super attack when facing 2 or more enemies. Transforms when conditions are met. He transforms from the 4th turn from the start of battle. Really good stats, especially because, I mean, it's an LR, so it's not going to easy change, really. We got the free-to-play one here for those of you that need summonable ones, too, if this is going to be your first time trying to pull for him, because you know he'll have his own banner, or he'll be featured on the Part 2 banners. He links really well with the new Broly that just released, which is kind of fantastic. It's Key plus 2, attack of 95%, defense of 5% after every link skill being level 10. But he transforms after 4 turns, and he becomes Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Omega Blaster Extreme is his 12 key, which raises attack and defense for 1 turn, and greatly lowers defense's 18 key, Gigantic Meteor Extreme, which greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes mega colossal damage to enemy, and massively lowers defense. So, a 50 stacking, then a 30 stacking. Not terrible. I like the massively lowering defense. That's going to be really good for stages in which you can lower defense. Passive skill, Devilish Siege. Key plus 4, attack and defense of 220, plus additional attack and defense of 120, and launches an additional attack that has a high chance, so 50%, chance of becoming a super attack when performing a super attack. So we can almost guarantee 2 supers there. It's a 50% chance. Chance of performing a critical hit, plus 6 for extreme class allies for 2 turns. Plus an additional attack of 166 and guards all attacks when performing an ultra super attack. So you need to put him in slot 2 to get the guaranteed guard. Which is actually kind of perfect, because then you could have this guy in slot 1 as your tank, him in slot 2, kind of perfect. Plus an additional attack of 100 when the target enemy is in attack down and defense down. Plus additional Key plus 4 and launches additional attacks has a great chance, so 70%, of becoming a super when facing only 1 enemy. So right there, you could launch up to 3 supers. Plus additional Key plus 6 and launches an additional super attack when facing 2 or more enemies. So guaranteed again, he could launch easily 3 supers a turn if things fall perfectly. Active skill is called Kakarot, Key plus 24, and attack of 48% for 1 turn, which will be really, really good, especially post-EZA with all of these multipliers you see here. And again, same thing, he links really well with himself. That's the best case scenario there. He also links well with the base form Broly, and since he has a different name technically, since it's a transformed unit, he does link really well with this Broly as well, which could be getting a super EZA in Part 2. So now, alright, how did I build my Broly? Seeing as this man absolutely lacks in critical hits in his passive in every way, shape, or form, I ended up going with my Broly, top left exclusively. He has the 5 built in because he's a tech type. I went 2 pass down crit, so that puts him at an 11 critical top left, 3 dodge. Okay, the reason I went with the dodge is because he doesn't have the guard on the first stage, so I kind of wanted to give him that chance to have that guard as the stage progresses until he can transform and get the guaranteed guard in slot 2. But only gets the guaranteed guard when he launches that ultra super as well, by the way, so that's a big key caveat there, and that's another reason why I went with dodge. Bottom right, I went 6 dodge, 6 crit, so that puts him at 17 crit and 9 dodge. I went no additional at all. I went additional on his skill orbs, and I'll explain that in 1 second. So I went all over again just to make sure everything's set up right on screen for you guys. I went a total of 9 plus 6, so 15 critical. I'm sorry, not 15, I take that back. So that gives us 6, 11, plus 6, 17 critical, and 9 dodge from his just base hidden potential. 17 critical, 9 dodge, alright? And then for his passive, I went skill orb number 1, I went critical dodge for the bronze. For the silver, I went personally critical dodge. And for the gold, I went additional dodge. I tried to give him a little bit of dodge across the board, so mine actually looks like a 5 additional, 20 crit, 15 dodge. The only reason I went 5 additional is because the man's got a lot of additionals built in. The 20 crit I went with because I want him to be able to hit those really high numbers and power through stages, especially imagine if he hits the 18 key super, lowers defense by 80%, and then launches an additional super that gets a crit with that defensive stat being lowered. I mean, that's just going to make his numbers hit that much higher. So my Broly across the board, after everything is said and done with orbs put in, has 5 additional, 20 crit, and 15 dodge. So there you guys have it. He's relatively easy to build, relatively straightforward. I'm kind of excited about it. He drops tonight in, I don't know, 9-ish hours. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this build and what you guys actually are going to go with your build. But like I said, I recommend going with more like a critical dodge kind of build with this man. He really doesn't need the additionals with his passive being the way it is. And the dodge just gives you that little bit of an extra protection in case you need it, if he just for some reason is due to get hit by a super. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.